afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another riveting Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Name, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Angoville. Versus in the north, we got Itaperuna, fighting for the German army, Deutschland. The Oberkommand West, rolling out here with the 2nd Panzer Division. In the south, we got Ikarus, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. The 1st Armored Division is a rank 30 player, in fact, with all factions in 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2. You actually never heard him before, but there you go. With recon support, heavy cavalry and rifle company, bazooka, grenade and infantry leads the way here into the barrage against the German army somewhere in Normandy. Itaperuna, the Spec Ops, Overwatch and Elite Armored is holding the line here with infantry, medical supplies and Sturmpioneer bulletins. There we got a double rifle start for Ikarus as he moves eastwards there to try and secure the area there, with Itaperuna also focusing on the east here. Though with the Kuban following up, which would likely be sent eastwards as well to back things up there. I would have figured to send it westwards, while the force would then be sent in to back up the Sturmpioneers in the east, but clearly Itaperuna there had me fooled. Going for the fuel point there, right moving up here by the victory point. Back and basically got the 2nd rifle squad almost down there for Itaperuna. I meant for Ikarus. Itaperuna will manage to go more full screen as soon as he's got the manpower and gets the attention to it, because he's a bit caught up here in the fighting by the fuel point. But Ikarus' riflemen threaten the Kugelwagen and the fuel point. There we go, rifle squad push back with heavy automatic fire from the Sturmpanzer's Kugelwagen, and the Sturmpanies meeting something about repairing, ensuring here that while Ikarus suffered damage and casualties, he just suffered damage, and it's damage he can fix at the front line. So there's certainly a nice little combo there by Itaperuna, but Ikarus is saying about to let up. He's pushing in more infantry. He's going to punish Itaperuna, at least try and do as much damage as possible. Of course, the Sturmpioneer Kugelwagen combo is a potent combo, and one which Ikarus seems to be struggling a bit with here in the early moments of the game, and he might just want to consider switching from east to west, but he's getting some damage in here nonetheless. More forces there running for Itaperuna. And there you go, Raisins almost taken out. Now it's just a rifle squad versus the Kugelwagen and the depleted Sturmpioneers, who got 4 kills, close veterans 1 already. Kugelwagen is also approaching it, getting some more damage. He's focusing the Sturmpioneers, which is actually allowing the Kugelwagen to get in free damage on the rifleman. Might be here what Itaperuna is banking on just a bit. Now they have retreated behind the Kugelwagen, but he's probably being up to troops there. Others by the western point, they need to get moving as well, as Ikarus is beginning to make contingency plans and move westwards in response to Itaperuna's severe resistance by the eastern field point. Certainly not a bad idea in case things just don't pan out, in which case he's not going to suffer complete loss here. There you go, pushing forwards again. Full screen it is, Kugelwagen versus Rifleman. Actually not a great state here, whereas Itaperuna's full screen is in a pretty good state. The Kugelwagen is, while not in a great state, and you know, technically in some ways a bit better off. There you go, veterans who 1-2 kills, rather than being pushed back, and Itaperuna wins the east. In large part, I would say thanks to the Kugelwagen and his quick usage of it. In the west, though, Ikarus is making better progress here versus Itaperuna and the German army, as he briefly poured in more infantry, but seems to cancel it. What could Ikarus here be planning, or was it a mistake? Hard to say here what Ikarus exactly is planning versus Itaperuna. I mean, he's flowing quite a bit of manpower at the moment, so I'm curious, what is Ikarus' plan here? I mean, there's not. I mean, he could feel to rush out the Iron Pathfinders. Ranges are too far off, and there's not really much from rifle companies, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening there, except he's keeping manpower and perhaps for a fast tech. Again, he's now moving westwards. Again, the east plan has been given up. Itaperuna, meanwhile, he's just taking advantage of the initial resource advantage he gained, which again is kind of what the Oberkommando wants to do, and techs up rapidly. We'll see if it's going to be in the mechanized or the battle group headquarters here. Both the advantages here versus Ikarus. The flak half track could probably give Ikarus a bit of a hard time just in terms of raw suppressive firepower. And westwards for the Sturmpioneer, he does end up going with the 4th rifle squad, so never mind that. Fresh push into the east, perhaps hoping that Itaperuna could extend into the west. He can then hit the east, certainly indicating that Ikarus is very keen on it, and in most cases it will be what most players will be keen on, because that's where most of the victory points are. So there you go, full squad push back, heavy casualty there being inflicted. Itaperuna for the brief time here controlling both fuel points, which of course is going to mean Itaperuna is going to be able to rush it for whatever he wants to. Setting for the eastern victory point, fuel point there, we can get the platoon command post upgrade here for Ikarus. Of course, with the situation it is, he could be tempted to go for the company command post, so instead go for anti-tank guns, and ensure he doesn't get completely overwhelmed there. Still no sign of doctrine there from either side. They remain a bit on the cautious side. Bit of shooting here and there. Bit of skirmishing. Ikarus could maybe benefit from heavy cavalry, just be able to lay down sandbags to help dig in around these points. Forces running hit, snapping a bit there at the riflemen, but they will soon get ganged up on. And meanwhile, Ikarus does seem to be having good luck keeping Itaperuna in the west as he focuses on the east. And it is in the end of the platoon command post he does go for. Briefly looked like he might consider the company command post, but Ikarus has other plans. More foot comes out there. No assault rifles yet here for Itaperuna. You figure he'd go for those as soon as possible. Kugelwagen there fixed up, good to go. Needs to be careful, of course, doesn't get caught up with a bad spot. You've got both rifles coming in there. Getting some damage in, but with no anti-tank rifle. Oh, got within range of it. Could that be the end of the Kugelwagen? Almost, but not quite. Turning to the field here. Ikarus, by the way, is floating a lot of manpower. You really have to wonder what he's planning here with that manpower. I mean, he could go for a bunch of 50 calibers right now, which would help a bunch versus Itaperuna. But, like, is he planning something from here, like an airdrop combat group, or is he actually planning for ranges? It's a bit hard to say here with Ikarus, in part because I don't know the player particularly well. Again, this is literally the first time I've seen of him, but again, he's high ranked, so he's clearly got to know something. Rather than need to fall back fast, he is almost a 3 command points of its heavy count ranges. He's planning, he will be seeing it now. Rifle squad down, that is not good for Ikarus, but he is cutting off Itaperuna's fuel supply somewhat. Of course, he's still not getting a lot of it himself. There we go, 3 command points. If he calls in range, it's going to be nice calling in riflemen though. So what will be, and there we go, one of the few American players I've seen in recent times who actually planned for ranges. So there we go. Ikarus going to roll ahead with that. He might as well have been laying down sandbags with his rifle as well, you know, prepare positions ahead for the next German assault here from Itaperuna and the 2nd Panzer Division up north here, healing reinforcement going on. Machine guns all the way as well. That's going to be an excellent choice here versus Ikarus and his infantry aggressive tactics, in particular the Rangers about. The machine gun is going to prove to be quite crucial in ensuring they don't overwhelm him. He could theoretically go for a 2nd squad right now, though that would be, I think, a bit on the overly aggressive side, but maybe that's exactly what Ikarus needs. Either way, fortunately they're being pushed back. The Rangers M1 carbines doing heavy damage. The M1 carbine, while it packed slightly lower caliber than regular rifle, of course had a much higher rate of fire and was lighter, so you'd rather had some advantages there. I'll wait, Thompson's up there for Ikarus. Half tank on the way as well. Tank drops up by the fuel point in the west. He is certainly swinging back here to Itaperuna, who will be able to hold him back there with the MD-34. He's also going for what looks like a very fast tech here. It's either a mechanized reckoning, in which case he is then aiming. In which case the order of it is actually really weird, but also he's aiming for a spec up stall, which is not necessarily something I'd recommend. Of course, it would probably help for there for Ikarus, but yeah, it seems like he's aiming for the Schwer punted quarters. He'll set it up here, so very fast tech rush there for Itaperuna, basically building on the initial successes he had here versus Ikarus, which is a good move. Half track on the way there for Ikarus to help deal with all the German infantry, put pressure on him. Very good. Kugelwagen there hit again, closing in Metzner 2. Lieutenant dealing with a full support prop, going to need some Ranger support, and there we go. Rangers lead the way to the German rear. Sturm pilots need to be seriously careful. Those Rangers can do some serious damage. In this case, though, he's aiming for a wipe here. That's a good play there, actually. That's a really good play. Briefly look that. In this case, it did not work out there. Ikarus, very fortunate for Itaperuna. Very fortunate, but still ends up taking a lot of damage here from the Rangers. 3 kills, closing veterans 1. Here we got the half-tech repulsing Itaperuna's 1 machine gun gewehr. And that's going to force them to have to consider anti-tank weapons soon enough, which will slow down other efforts. Ikarus is just gaining control of the map here aggressively. No mines being laid down though, which could work out helpfully there for Itaperuna. Well, that's about it. As both the half-track and the Rangers are hitting him really hard, and he's falling up here with a 50 caliber to further hold ground, and of course to make it hard for Itaperuna to gain any ground back. Got play there, truck fault pushed back. Like Kednav's on the way for Itaperuna, certainly for those delaying any tech and whatever else might come from that. MD-34 back in operable condition. Mein Gott, those Americans, yeah, it's like they can learn. Americans learning, ha, that's rich. Anyways, digging in here, Garam here, even using the crew there to repair and grab the point there. Clear play there by Ikarus. Bit risky, but if you can sort of manage it, it can be quite effective. Rangers just hiding out there, waiting for any Germans to get a bit too close before peppering them with the Thompson submachine gun. Puny advancing, but with any anti-tank support, they're going to be easy targets. To the half track. There we go. Itaperuna is forced to flee, abandoning the western fuel point to the mercies of Ikarus. And the 1st Armored Division rifle sending about here. Further back at Ikarus' base, nothing further going on. And similarly, Itaperuna's base is rather quiet. Rangers sneaking about there, taking a few hits, got full swimming westwards. Still no assault rifles to the free Itaperuna's full gunners. I'm rather surprised at this development. Tech up is almost done. He could theoretically go here for some orbital done with either infrared assault rifles, go spare cups, or light machine guns, both of which could help him a bunch there versus Ikarus' infantry, which would definitely not be a bad idea at all. Slow approach here, we got grenades up for Ikarus as well. And what is this? We got combined arms. He's using combined arms early in the game, almost as soon as he's unlocked the ability. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that is not something you see every day. Hell, it's not something you see every year. He's actively using it in an aggressive manner. I'm not entirely sure about the timing of it. It could have been a misclick, I suppose, but that is impressive. And of course, note it boasts both vehicle and infantry alongside close to each other, giving them more firepower overall, making them that much nicer. But there you go, halfing and flanked by the Raketenwerfer. Needs to get out of there too fast. Got the Kuvan here. These Rangers sweeping in there, but he loses the half track. Quite a blow there to Ikarus, but overall, yeah, it was an interesting. Sadly, he just didn't quite get enough force behind it, enough focus, but he tried, and you know that's what matters as well. Oh, a bit of an eye opener there. Got the focus in the end, though. That's quite a loss there for Itaperuna. He needs to definitely get some orbital dart out there, I think, to help pick up the slack soon. And we got a grenade there on the MD-34 flanking it very nicely, almost taking out the Itaperuna's one machine gun crew. Stellar stuff there by Ikarus, and there we go. Itaperuna's machine gun wiped out. Going for orbital dart, very good, but Itaperuna's going to have some way to work himself. He needs some way to work himself out of this. Another half track for Ikarus, though. That's I feel like that's a bit more of a questionable choice, but I mean, it's certainly something else. I mean, most players at this stage would not commit to like double half tracks, and it looks like he realizes, nope, he cancels it, goes back to it. Seems like Ikarus is indecisive, understandably so, since again you usually do not see a second half track at all. But Ikarus there, Itaperuna's got the orbital dart out right about now. Light machine guns, of course, will be quite helpful as all these rifles, in particular since they are unupgraded. No bars, makes it much easier for the orbital to just murder them in an engagement there with the light machine guns. Rangers catching the stream upon his guard. He got full flanking, going for the fuel point there. 50 cover there. Oh, MD-34 being attacked. Orbital should probably try and flank behind and clear it out before it gets away. And there we go, machine gun pushed away, Fulton pushing for the fuel point, Orbital Darden got the light machine gun, but I don't think they'll be able to wipe out the machine gun crew. Would be pretty great there for Itaperuna, and he was able to do that, but it seems like fortune does not favour him in this case. Still floating a bunch of manpower, he can soon push for a tank, which would definitely not be a bad idea, but in the meanwhile, more Orbital Darden, which he's going for right now, would be a very strong choice. I think a lot of Overcommanders players underestimate just how powerful upgraded orbital gun could be, whether that be for assault rifles or the light machine guns, and a pair of them can really put some pressure on your opponent, particularly if the infantry is not upgraded. The orbital gun can more or less dominate them, so very strong choice there by Itaperuna. Sensing a weakness then Ikarus' force composition, he strikes it as hard as possible. A bit expensive of course, but they do tend to pay themselves off if you handle them correctly. Back here, healing reinforcement. There we go, second orbital line squad out, immediately adding the LMD-34 to them as well. Big 2 points wise, we got Itaperuna and Ikarus actually pretty close to each other. Now the player's been brought down below the 400. There we go, folks, with the Rangers. We got the orbital moving in, light machine gun that's halfway down with the Rangers, nonetheless, are taking heavy damage. As they cross negative count, the orbital they're definitely getting some good hits in. In these two, we got the orbital being assaulted from south side, got a grenade off, quick retreat there, very good. Bomb grenade here might be just the trick versus the Rangers, but no falls back instead. Not a bad idea either there. in the west half there, I imagine catches Itaperuna a bit off guard, since again, most players would never go for that at this stage, and certainly that could be exactly why Ikarus went for it. No player would go for it, ergo he goes for it and tries to catch his opponent completely unawares. So let's see how that works out. And he's taking up now, but he's going for the company command post. That definitely indicates Ikarus is going to stall for the Pershing. A curious strategic move there. The obviously to an extent makes sense as well. Maybe also explains why I went for the half-tech, so you can just back it up with anti-tank guns. Also reinforcing, healing. Lieutenant under fire. As the Krauts move in. But there he goes, suppressed by the MG-34. Itaperuna finds him faced with a bit of irony. But there you go, Itaperuna's going to hit the first with the Panzer IV out here, and Ikarus is going to eat the captain with those anti-tank guns. Otherwise, he's going to be in for a very rough ride. Half-tank, meanwhile, doing his best to leave Itaperuna's men miserable and preferably dead. Mate, captain out there. 50 cover there, grabbing points. In the west, we've got the Orbison flanking up there, outmaneuvering it. Very good work there. Very good work there. Half-tech rushing in, Panzer IV almost down there for Itaperuna. We're still without a doctrine. There we go, got the Panzer IV out. Panzerkampfwagen 4. Sturmpani rushing forwards here, after going for the Obersoldaten, Panzer IV moving eastwards. Infantry support is a bit there, though it is light, and there you go, Ikarus going for the first anti-tank gun. Definitely going to need it as the Panzer IV strikes him, and that's going to be quite a challenge there for Ikarus without any anti-tank weapons. And even then they're going to take some time to get to the front line, meaning the Panzer IV can basically go nuts and secure at least some parts of the air. But there you go, Ranger striking here, putting pressure on Itaperuna's flank, even as he's trying to advance it with the Panzer IV. Good play. Good chance of maybe getting the machine gun, very bunched up. And the Panzer IV is quite an accurate tank. Oh, there we go, almost got it. Will be a great win there for Itaperuna if he can wipe it out. There we go. Now just needs to get some troops down there, but if he can get that machine gun back, that'd be great for him. Obviously, terrible for Ikarus. It looks like that's not quite going to happen. Captain moving in there will probably grab that machine gun. Panzer IV northwards, Rangers there causing complete havoc, ambushing the Obersoldaten and repulsing them. There you go, Panzer IV. He's going to need to retreat now, and even then it could be too late. There you go, Panzer IV lands a devastating hit, almost taking out the entire Ranger squad. Bazooka teams go to the rescue, anti-tank and backing up, but he gets the Rangers. A staggering blow there to Ikarus, who finds himself short of a bit of a squat there. Fox is running into that half-track in the west. He needs to fix up that Panzer fast, and he should probably prioritise taking the half-track out of its misery so his infantry can move about more freely. Naps that machine gun with the lieutenant. Orbison moving ahead. There we go, half-track to the rescue once more. Again, the faster you can get rid of that half-track, the better for Itaperuna and the second Panzer Division, because that one is really leaving with a few options. There you go, bomb grenade off, but that's easily dodged. Going in the Panzer IV here, bit of a risky move, but if you can take out the half-track now, of course, that's going to allow his infantry again to move much more freely. And of course, is the key element here. Infantry movement here. There you go, almost got the anti-tank gun. There you go, crew wiped. Excellent stuff there. Sturmhaus moving up to back up the Panzer IV. Stealing that anti-tank gun right now would be pretty solid. They could also just salvage it for fuel, to be honest. Blend cover grenade here could be an idea for the Obersoldaten. Well, never mind, they're pinned down. Panzer IV to the rescue here. Let's clear out that machine gun again. Vason's moving up, no bazookas here. I do not believe he's actually upgrading in the weapon racks, so no additions there. Grenade off. Oh, Fox is almost wiped out. Vason's going to grab the anti-tank gun. Nice work by Ikarus. Panzer IV has already got 10 kills, but it is also close to death there. Missed home turn, I think that'll be Itaperuna to knight that anti-tank gun. So, great for Ikarus though. But on the other hand, he did lose the half-track, and that's going to give Itaperuna a much better chance of getting control of the rest of the map, which is really what he needs. He needs better map control. Oh, pop goes that weasel down south, and the tank and crew dead again. Back here, reinforcement. Other Orbison sending out. And he went for the Major all of a sudden, so he's not just stalling for the Pershing, possibly realizing at this stage he can't afford to. Deciding he can't, I don't know. Or maybe just there's more just trying to rush out a medium tank as fast as possible now, rather than, trying to stall for a Pershing, giving Ikarus more time to gain up, build it, field control up. Hard to say exactly what Ikarus is playing at. He's clearly got something in mind. And there you go, mine goes off, almost wiping Ikarus as a lieutenant, leaving him short there, one man. MG34 there back in action for Ikarus. Panther moving in. Itaperuna's really just pushing it hard there. Looks like it's going to destroy that anti-tank gun. Yup. Ikarus trying to stop that with the smoke screen there, but sadly did not work out for him. Sadly did not. Weapon racks remain unupgraded. That is a rare sight to see from an American player, but Ikarus is certainly doing his best as he can with the rest of his equipment there to, make sure it pays off. What? I think this is a misclick. This does not make any sense for Itaperuna to retreat point unlock there. That has to be a misclick. It's just some sort of brain fart. That literally makes no sense. I mean, it happens, but it's still always a bit, awkward when it happens. I mean, that's just 300 manpower going nowhere, and he's floating a lot. Maybe it was because of that. He just had a lot of manpower, just wanted to spend on something, but not calling in more infantry, which can again be the issue of the overprice at times. Like, you can't invest your resources in anything else, but you don't want to just keep churning out infantry. So maybe some more support would be a good idea here for Itaperuna. An MG34, like infantry gun, like heading there for more. I mean, those could probably be better investments than just spending 300 manpower on that. If that was indeed the idea, though, of course, we don't know. At least I don't. Itaperuna likely does, but he's not telling. Panther going straight from the Panther, almost fixed up, but not quite enough here. Oh, managed to push them away before they popped off an anti-tank grenade, and we quickly wipe here. Veteran G3 on Pioneers, and there we go. Another wipe there against Ikarus. Jackson on the way to help back him up. Itaperuna is slowly getting map control, but it is a long and bloody road he's on. Also on there by the Veteran 2, while the squad closing in on that as well. Looks like he might attack the base, in which case he could actually take out the ambulance, which would be bad news for Ikarus. Looks like he doesn't. Salvaging up the anti-tank gun wreckage. Not a bad idea. He could consider using his orbital gun barrage to booby trap some of the points here. Bit of an overlooked ability, but could be quite handy. Destroying the BART while allowing the orbital gun to occupy the house more easily. Back here, reinforcement. Veteran T2 orbital moving out. Quit complaining, Ludwig. Just carry the machine and give our ammunition properly, and maybe one day you get to try it out, but not today. I don't trust you not to miss those Americans. Jackson out there for Ikarus, setting up for an assault mode. He's trying to do a broader flank here to catch him a bit off guard. Good move there by Ikarus. Unpleasant just rushed forwards, but Ikarus is trying to set up for a better attack. Maybe flanking him from the other side, so good play there. Good play. Very deep attack here, flank. Panther up to cover the other elements. Could maybe do with some additional support when he's bringing up machine guns. Got the Jackson nearby in case of the Panther appearing. Of course, Itaperuna's got Orbison nearby and dug in. Minefield was up, then Itaperuna Sturmpioniere. He's taking no chance there with mines. Ikarus Inchnoff has not laid on any mines. In fact, he's not been using a lot of his abilities as of late. Panther they're getting eventually to them, but blitzing away. Another sail hit there from the tank destroyer on the Panzer IV. Itaperuna holding on here to the east. How much longer can he hold on? As Ikarus is going on deeper and deeper, and note there's a force that is further and further going for deeper flank here against his opponent. That is some really sneaky play there by Ikarus. Sneaky, sneaky, but effective. Itaperuna back to flooding a lot of resources. I mean, he's probably setting up for, I don't know, something. Could be a command Panther, could be a Panther. Panzer IV more. Maybe a King Tiger play. You probably benefit spending all that manpower on something. Again, machine gun more could be useful. A line for the gun could have its advantages and benefits, but So far, nothing further happening here for Ikarus on that front. Got the orbital and the full fighting against Lieutenant up close. And there we go, grenade off. Failed to make much of an impact there. Machine gun backing up the assault here, the flank. Very good play there by Ikarus. And of course, also Dawson away from the victory point here, allowing his troops to move up to acquire that one. Really well played there by Ikarus. Some really good flanking tactics. Arcade for push back. Got that Panther 4 dealing with Captain though, pushing away veteranly too. Good work there by Itaperuna. He's gone for Spec ups, likely going to go for that Command Panther. Still got a ton of manpower. Pack cards of Ikarus to help deal with the German infantry and support weapons. Strong choice there. Overall, very good support weapon. Bit overlooked, I think, by the average American player, but Ikarus clearly knows its power and utility. Ikarus, in the meanwhile, would benefit from a few light infantry guns against anything, really. Missing and being pushed back. Could see a wipe, then maybe gaining it for the German army, and there you go, the crew pops dead. In this case, Itaperuna decides he doesn't even want it. But he really should be spending some of that manpower, to be honest. That is a bit sloppy. Unless we've got the full versus rifle here, incendiary grenade off, Reinhand grenade unleashed. I mean, he could actually be pushing a strong advantage versus his opponent. Where to spend some of that manpower white, so there you go, Command Panther in. And of course, will mean that Itaperuna nonetheless possesses quite the field presence. Of course, spending more of that manpower would be good. So we'll see what Itaperuna ends up with here versus Ikarus, and how Ikarus will respond to this increasingly large Axis armoured threat. Jackson continues to move about here in the west. Seems like he is giving up on these for now until he can sort of build up a larger force to push back at his opponent with, which isn't, I think, a necessarily bad idea at all there by Ikarus. Marines down there, having seen what Ikarus does, he begins to mount up his flanks. Very good. Very good. Panther 4 sneaks in there, Panther backing it up. Almost wiping out the captain there. Full speed ahead here for Itaperuna's Panther Spearhead going for that Jackson. Bit risky, not knowing if there's any mines or anything about like that, but Itaperuna does not seem to quite give a damn as he goes all in. He's almost got the Jackson because he made the beam up. He's finally gone for weapon racks. He's finally upgrading his men. Every one of the few bits where I feel like Ikarus maybe could have did it faster. But oh well. Two being pushed back with the Panther 4. Itaperuna now looking to have most of the map here under his control. Very good, very good. Panther 4 slowly approaching Veteran 3. Ikarus on the hunt with his bazookas. At least that means he's spending munitions now with those weapon racks, which of course is really good and honestly really necessary. Itaperuna taking up. That's likely when the mechanized dragon to help force repair, but also most likely set up for King Tiger if it becomes necessary. So what will Ikarus do next? Itaperuna's pouring into the west. Of course, he can just then strike eastwards, taking advantage of course of Itaperuna's hard focus there. And the fact he's most likely left the east very open. There you go, grenade off in the double orbital dart. Oh my goodness! Wiping one squad and almost taking out the others. Well, that was one hell of a grenade. The Itaperuna's need to be a bit more mindful of stuff that's replacing the orbital dart, but that was a hell of a grenade there. I mean, bang! 7 orbital dart and dead in one grenade. That is some really good 30 munitions there. Spent. At this stage, it kind of looks like Ikarus is stalling just for the Pershing here. Bit risky at the moment. We'll see where it works out. Okay, moving up, machine guns well now here. Itaperuna is suddenly realizing he needs to spend his manpower better. He can't take Ikarus lightly. It's really important to keep in mind, do not take your opponent lightly. Against the Americans, which I feel like are one of the factions can best punish you if you make a mistake. Like, they have a lot of firepower. If you make one mistake, they can quickly gain ground again. Ground points here, ground points. We've got the Panther 4 moving in. Slowly approaching Veterans fleet. Straight out the captain here. Shots fired and shot bouncing off. Almost taking out the captain there. Close one there, but not close enough. Ikarus is swinging between east and west, trying to keep Itaperuna guessing, but also just somehow gain fuel while not fighting any sort of pointless engagement. He's also sneaking about, harassing, trying to stall and slow down Itaperuna. Nice plays there. Of course, a bit risky, but if he can manage it, of course, it's going to work out solidly. That's going to give him something to work with. Oh dear, straight to the Panther Force. Even upgraded his rifle with bazookas. Interesting to worth noting is while he has access to the captain and the company command post, not going for any entertainment after he lost that one he had. Pack Couch is not really doing a lot either. Probably needs to get a bit close to the front line. Needs to begin using the bombardment. Panther going for the Jackson. Noting the Jackson is veteran 2. But there you go, marked vehicle. Bazooka team swimming up. That's a lot of bazooka teams, by the way. Fresh Rangers, by the way. Also a nice addition here to Ikarus. Fortunately, they're being suppressed by the 50 caliber machine gun. Captain Rifle Major moving up here, and in the west, counter-attack here by Itaperuna. We got the Rangers there. A bit delayed with the upgrade. And we got Itaperuna's MG34 being a nuisance, but he could bombard it with a pack carter to clear that out. The pack carter is really good if you remember to use the bombardment ability. There you go, first shot kills the gunner. And Gotze got Ludwig, he exploded! And they got Jürgen. Maybe we shouldn't get to the machine gun while they're bombarding it. Maybe. There you go, forced to retreat, and there you go, nice flank here from Ikarus' captain. Good fluid play, but now we can see the pack carters exposed, and Itaperuna goes to silence it. Nice play there, though in this case ends up trying to do some other things. Stays Barley got 32 kills, almost 53. That's really good there for Itaperuna. 33 kills. Captain Lieutenant there was the Orbital Garden. Veteran 3 closing veteran 4, Panther game, veteran 3 versus Jackson, who's already taking damage there. And falls back rapidly here, does not want to risk it. Probably the best idea, even if the Panther now has a good rate of fire versus the Jackson. Command Panther moving up. Which is why Ikarus did not hang about for much longer, since he knew that was likely inbound here to deal with this Jackson tank destroyer, which is almost at the ace level there. Really good unit preservation by Ikarus, except for of course a few slave ups here and there. Panther 4, Panther being fixed up, repair pioneers ready, Orbital Line reinforcing. Ikarus is very close to that Pershing. And there you go, Rangers versus Folk Grenadiers, noting still none of them are upgraded with the assault rifles, which is an interesting sight, seeing the Rangers are making very short work of them. They found themselves holding with the machine gun, preventing any further passage there for Ikarus and his Rangers. Victory points wise, it's much closer now between the two places, 209 versus 223. Pack Coucher there with 2 kills so far, likely bombarding the machine gun area, and there you go, executing by Kedneffer. Itaperuna strikes with his Panzers. But we got the Jackson, the bazookas there opening up in the trend. We got a Stukas was now for Itaperuna to deal with some of these support weapons. Interesting choice there. Unit down though. Captain about to get murdered. Looking a bit grim here for Ikarus versus Itaperuna. But there you go, almost got the Command Panther in return. If we could destroy that, would be huge for Ikarus. Massive, and certainly would make things easy for his Pershing, which he's got the fuel, he just needs the manpower now. Panther 4 on the assault here, on the hunt. Oh, gets the main gun! And Veteran 4 in the process. Booby traps up here, but being dealt with Minesweepers still. Nice attempt there by Itaperuna. Very nice. Oh, look, the ability, so nice to see someone actually use it. He's lost another Orbital squad though. I think if he gets more, he should consider trying some infantry assault rifles. They could be helpful with some flanks and whatnot. Pushing into the east, taking advantage of Itaperuna's focus in the west. In this regard, Ikarus, I think, is displaying some very good tactical grasp on the battlefield, and more important, he's got a good sense of where his opponent is focusing, and can that way sort of play around using that. So that's a really good skill to have, to be honest. Really good skill to have. So thumbs up there to Ikarus for displaying that. We got smokescreen off here, most likely in the west. Yup. Back here in reinforcement, another Panther 4 there for Itaperuna. Don't know if that's the right thing to consider here. I mean, he should be figuring he's going up against the Pershing, in which case having a Panther out or a Yak Panther, that would be, I think, the better choice. Then again, one Command Panther, 2 Panther Horse can do it. Then we'll have to see. Ikarus though is super close to that Pershing. 40 kills in that Panther 4. Doing absolutely sterling work there for the German army. The Deutsche Panzerwaffe. There you go. Panther flanked here by the Jackson. Nice work there by Ikarus. Nice hit there again. Down to half health. Another hit there. That Command Panther is taking some incredible damage. You got the Panther, the Lieutenant pushing them back. Almost wiping them out. 45 kills. Almost ace level there. And then goes straight into the Jackson, which immediately opens up there. Second Panther arriving though. Panther down to less than half health. Misses the Panther 4 though. Pack out opening up on the Germans in the west, but sadly it's not quite landing any serious hits here for Ikarus. Itaperuna meanwhile needing all of his armor repaired, in particular his almost ace Panzer 4. He is in dire need of it, it would be wasted for him. But Pershing is out for Ikarus, allowing him to safely repair his Jackson. That's the Pershing screens it. Back here healing reinforcement. Rangers are almost good to go. Careful with those Panzer 4s. Itaperuna Vorsicht. There you go, straight into the Pershing with the Panther 4. Jackson has another hit as well there. And Bazookas almost take out the Panther 4s in one go. Certainly punching Itaperuna. And we go, that Panther 4's down. And this is something you should have come on. A, just rushing the Panther 4 blindly. And B, you know, again, maybe shouldn't have gone for it in the first place. He should have considered the Pershing at this timing. Considering you see nothing but the Jackson. And he knew his opponent had gone for heavy cavalry. So the Panther 4 was very much a very weak choice here, and it was something he could have, I think, safely punished easily. Got the Jackson moving in it, taking some shots, but also bouncing them. Rangers flanking up, Kevin regains 23, very good. Almost got the Pershing, that'd be a huge blow there by the way. 2 Ikarus were to lose it, but the Panther needs to go back going too far ahead, but Kevin was repulsed. Some intense action here as Itaperuna's trying to break through. Bazooka's almost taken out, and the Jackson gets it. And Itaperuna is down to just a Panzer 4 here. Absolutely horrifically punished now for going for that second Panzer 4 when there was no real need for it. And then again, he would better off just going for more Orbsoldaten and then Panthers instead. And the Panther 4 struggling here, taking too much damage from Bazooka. It's not firing back at it. It needs to blitz away. Damn its engine. Oh my god. It's a bad. He lost everything. I mean, obviously I can't blame more on that just on, you know, going for an extra Panther part of this. Also, just clearly Itaperuna might have been getting overconfident, a bit relaxed, and just played his Panthers really poorly. Either way, he just threw them away. That is huge for Ikarus. I mean, Itaperuna actually had a huge lead there again with a lot of tanks, and he just threw it away, partly because he sent in the tanks one by one, and that is, he sent them in piecemeal. That is really something you should not do. I mean, Gudin, you know, always said, you strike with a fist, not an open hand. That's definitely here what Itaperuna did. Like, you concentrate your tanks, then you push. You do not send in tanks one by one, which exactly is what Itaperuna did. That was just absolutely horrid tank employment. Though again, I do feel like, again, Panther more would have been greater than the Panzer 4. And he still needs more Orbsoldat, but this is just huge. He's now trying to, you know, make up for it with like Kedden efforts, but with the Pershing about, that's going to get a bit risky. So Itaperuna is going to have quite a climb now to make here after having just more or less tossed away most of his advantage. I mean, he still has a chance there. He does have the Orbison and can certainly carry a lot of weight here in the late game. That's kind of what they're there for and such. But like Kedmevs are not quite able to set nearly as much carry, you know, the anti-tank fight in the late game. So we'll have to see here what Itaperuna does. But he has definitely not made it easy for himself. Pershing being fixed up. Jackson good to go as well here for Ikarus and the 1st Armored Division. Returning again into the booby trap. Would you look at that? Oh my god! The donuts! They booby trapped them. God damn. Still, good donuts. It's a nice boob trap there for Itaperuna, certainly showing why you use them. They can be really good if you sort of, your opponent just rushes into them. Oh, Pershing landing a nice hit. And again, the Pershing, as always, it's good to remember, eats up infantry for breakfast. Nice, we got all those for Kednerfers. Again, if you can set them off correctly, he can do some damage, but he's going to need Panthers and Yak Panthers here to have a chance versus Ikarus' armored forces here. In the long term, like Kednerfers are simply going to be too easy targets once they get spotted. Partly because he lacks infantry support for them. He needs more Obersoldaten. Badly. Got the Orbs on the west end with the Major. We've got the Rifleman up here. We've got almost virtually 5 Obersoldaten there. Sturmpioneers by virtually 4, which is by the way where they get really good. They get a fat accuracy bonus there, which just makes their assault rifles super mean. So there you go, 24 kills, almost virtually 5. Orbs in the west being pushed back. Probably a good grenade there for Ikarus. Overwhelm them. Nice throwing there. Troops in reinforcing. Sturmpioneers needs to be careful he doesn't throw away. That'd be a huge blow there to Itaperuna, and he can't afford any more. Sending in like Kednerfers. There we go, moving up on the Pershing, virtually 4 gained. Using flares as well. He's just... I feel like he's getting a bit greedy there in some way, at least aggressive. He might even be a bit angry here about the loss of the armored stuff. He's not just trying to get that Pershing no matter the cost. But he still needs more Obersoldaten. And Ikarus would benefit from more armor as well. Maybe a regular Sherm to back things up, maybe some Scots. Itaperuna going for the Jagdpanzer to help deal with the armour, so not a bad choice. Though with a veteran 3 Jacks now, it's going to find itself struggling a bit. Rather than push back with the Obersoldaten, 23 kills. Closing in very fast on veteran 5. Also, we finally got 1 squad upgrade with the assault rifles there for Itaperuna. 1. Machine guns, pack house being holding to break up Itaperuna's western assault. Ikarus secures these, but no mines, no sandbags. Mostly because he's only got 1 rifle squad left. And the lieutenant and the captain are carrying the job well. In fact, the lieutenant has got 34 kills. Pretty good work there. Pretty good work. More orbs on there for Itaperuna. We'll see if he goes for the assault rifles. He's just going to go for the light machine guns. Though again, assault rifles can be really good if you know how to use them. And pull off some good flanks. Pershing setting out there. Very close to virtually 2. And very close to being extra bad news there for Itaperuna. Straight for the MD-34. Shoots. Misses though. No artillery fire up here. Pushing away from the victory point. Victory point wise. Ikarus has got a small lead here. Itaperuna at 154 versus 110. Second Obersoldaten squad good to go. And he goes for more assault light machine guns. Kednerfers Jagdpanzer moving westwards. Let's see if we can pull it off. In the east here, Sturmpioneers full support going here. We got a large amount of infantry from Ikarus holding up. No sandbags, so who knows? Maybe Itaperuna can pull it off here. Good grenade assault could soften things up. So we've got a Banhand gun out off. Got the Obersoldaten squad moving up. Sturmpioneers doing what they can there. 24 kills, close to 5. Folks are being annihilated out in the open. Easy targets with the captain and lieutenant. On the west, things are not working out too well here. Bringing in the anti-tank weapons away there from the west. Sturmpioneers gain virtually 5. They're about to get grenaded here, I think, by the lieutenant, but no, they're murdering him too fast. Well, they did get grenaded all the way. 27 kills there. 28. Sturmpioneers doing their part, and there we go. Obersoldaten opening up as well. Jagdpanzer hanging back and forth here, and we got a Sherman on the way for Ikarus and the 1st Armored Division. Got the Pershing moving in. Got the Jagdpanzer moving forwards with its high velocity 7mm gun. They should probably not drive straight to the fuel point because that tells Ikarus exactly where the Jagdpanzer is, meaning he can actually make better movements and predictions on how to deal with it. So that is actually a bit unfortunate move there. The Kednerfers moving out there, they're a bit exposed, and there you go. Busted by the Pershing there. One setting up there, but the small shed is actually making it harder for him to coordinate his defences against the Pershing, and Ikarus here seems to be taking advantage of it quite well against Itaperuna, who's down at 90 points versus Ikarus 154. 53. using the tilt to break up things again as well. Ikarus is really good at disrupting Itaperuna's movements in the later game and making it much harder for him to actually make that comeback he wants to. So nicely played there by Ikarus. You see him calling air reconnaissance to further get into his opponents. He's really making full use there of the ability of the hand. I mean, the only thing I think he hasn't used at this stage is like the rifleman defensive structures. There haven't been any mines or sandbags from him, which is a bit surprising. But ours is actually making full use of the doctrine. He's even making more use of the major than most players as well. So I mean, that's impressive. Got the opposite moving forwards there, 4 kills, touching one. Other ones gained mentioning 24 kills. Bomb grenade off in the camp, pushing away. Sherman there getting blasted by kidnaps, but there we go. They are pushed back. Yak Pants need to be careful. Got the Pershing going for it. Shot bounces off the Pershing. Bit unfortunate like that. Second shot bounces as well. Bad luck for Itaperuna once more versus Ikarus. Third shot bounces as well. We got grenade off from the Pershing, causing further catching the Fulton. This fourth shot bounces off the Pershing. Worth noting, of course, that while in the actual war the Yak Panther had the same gun as the Panther, in game it does not have the same stats. It actually has lower penetration than the Panther. So that is inordinately bad luck there for Itaperuna. 4 shots in a row, bouncing off the Pershing's armor. $90 versus 129. Itaperuna's managed to stabilize and not back to bleeding out his opponent, but he's in a sticky position and Ikarus is not about to let up. We got more Raketmevers, more machine guns. The machines are good, but I think at this stage he might aim for 2 minute Raketmev. In fact, he'd be better off not using the manpower now, instead going for another Yak Panzer than more Raketmevers he is. Since again, Raketmevs, the way he's moving about, do risk getting murdered by the Pershing easily. But also one just easily dispatched with double Yak Panzers would be a lot harder. Plus also a lot harder for the Jacks to deal with. All of a sudden they're about to get wiped out. Don't do it, Itaperuna. 9. Rückzug. Machine gun is about, I think, to get knocked out of this war by the Pershing. Looking very close. He's not pulling that machine gun out. 2 more hits maybe, and that thing's going to collapse if it lasts that long. And there we go. Machine gun out finally. We have 4 Raketmevers here from Itaperuna. 4 Raketmevers. Honestly, I think you're better off with 4 Orbals and just help deal with infantry, and then just, 2 Yak Panzers instead. Since the Orbals can just in that way sweep away Ikarus' infantry, isolating the tanks better and allowing them to deal with them more easily. More Shams away there for Ikarus. He's just pouring in an armor versus Itaperuna and the crumbling 2nd Panzer to be shown. Yak Panzer on the 5. We got the Shermans and Jackson moving ahead. Yak Panzer shoots, misses this time around. The Kemmer's flanking. There you go. Penetrating on the Pershing, staying hit from the bazookas. Needs supporting infantry. Goes still ponies up support, but they've not been enforced fully. There you go. Pershing down to less than half up. But Kedmev's doing what they can. Still intense fighting here. Explosion happened. Might have set up a booby trap there. On mine. Pershing is almost the ace level. I think Itaperuna, they're stalling for the Command Panther. I don't know if that's the best choice here. Truth be told. Don't know why the bazookas decide to fire southwards. Machine gun creeping up. Immediately under fire from the pack house, which is actually rather exposed here for Ikarus. Bit risky. 71 versus 119. This is going to be a close one. There you go. A Kedmeva blob. Pretty risky stuff. And then Mitch might also notice the way he's used it is also quite unwieldy. And thus he's an easy target for things. In this case, he just calls in smoke and just forces it to retreat. So, as you can see, there's some definite issues with this sort of tactic here that Itaperuna is trying to employ here in an attempt to get rid of the Sherman, the Jacksons, and Pershings and whatnot. It's just not quite working out for him. He's also using the Pershing crew here, or the Jackson crew, to repair the Pershing. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. 60 versus 119. West side is actually quite open. Of course, needs some infantry shenanigans to really pull through there. Ikarus now going for Scots. There you go. Yak Panzer lands a nice hit. Veterans who won. 55 versus 119. There we go, more bazooka fire. So many bazookas out here from Ikarus. It certainly appreciates their potency versus German armour when you get a lot of them. Jagdpanzer there, they're being assaulted, being flanked, swarmed. Bit exposed there, in fact, flank was uncovered. There you go, the Jagdpanzer is down. Like Ken was too slow, and they're easily obfuscated with the smoke. Meaning Ikarus can safely pull back his armour, having destroyed the Jagdpanzer, leaving Itaperuna with less there to deal with. Again, he might go for the Command Panther, but at this stage, the Command Panther is just not going to have firepower to stop all of the things Ikarus has. I mean, Ikarus is short in infantry, though, so there's a chance here for Itaperuna to pull off. But the problem is, the Jagdpanzer, the Reckeners are kind of exposed there out in the open. 43 points left. Persian there, 35 kills. The Reckeners there to push back again. Orbison moving up, wiping out whatever supporting elements are back here, but he's down to 40 here versus Ikarus' 119. Going for that victory point with his hero Orbison done. Got the churn moving in, he's pushing it forward stage. He's just trying to push them away there to keep the bleed up on Itaperuna and the 2nd Panzer Division. Scots again here. Almost got the machine gun. Almost got the machine gun there. Almost. 39 kills. Straight into the Obersoldaten. Sturmpuny advancing. 28 kills. Some debris went flying in a very flippity-floppity manner there. As you can see. Flip-flop. 28 points left. Itaperuna might seem to be getting a bit tunnel-sighted here. Scott out as well. Ikarus, though, could maybe benefit from a bit more infantry. Just a bit. 23 points left for Itaperuna. No idea what he's planning, though. Except, of course, to attack forwards, no matter the cost. Blend cover, he'll be helpful to cover up against the Sherman. I mean, he could make use of smoke as well, but it's enough. While Ikarus has made some use of smoke, Itaperuna comparatively is not making any use of it. Which is a bit unfortunate, but great for Ikarus. Again, wiped by the pack out in the Scott combo. Focus in the next target here. Half of them have gone, the big knife person move forwards. There we go. All of a sudden, almost annihilated. Kevin's moving up here. Itaperuna is pulling it all in, but is it enough? Is it enough? Ace Pershing there with 44 kills, just decimating Itaperuna's Kevin Murphys. He's almost got the ace one. He almost lost the Ace Pershing, but in the end, it's just Itaperuna losing one. We've got a flank here going up, at least attempting to go up behind Itaperuna's lines. 18 versus 114. It rather is starting to look like GG here. Itaperuna's forces have been beaten silly, whereas Ikarus is just looking super strong. 46 kills on that Pershing. More Rangers out here for Ikarus. Like someone actually appreciates using Rangers, so thumbs up to Ikarus there. Trying to solve a Kevin over there. He's taking no chances versus Itaperuna. We're still in the fight, but the question is for how much longer. 16 points left. 15. Well, honestly, at this stage, you could just rush the victory point and grab it. Of course, he might be worried about booby traps. Command Panther finally available for Itaperuna again, but the question, of course, again, is it really worth it with that much armor Ikarus has? I mean, would not have been better off say with just double Yak Panzers. And there you go, sneak up on the west there, getting away with it. Can he just stop it in time? 8 points left. Ikarus suggesting just slightly more waiting, or just now realising he has to rush over towards the west to deal with that, but not exactly a big deal. Still has a lot of armour, a lot of firepower. Itaperuna's Befehls Panzerwagen moving up, engages the Jackson, but takes punishing and withering final turn. There you go. Half over ready from Bazooka, Pershing, and Jackson find the Command Panther. Doesn't even last a minute as soon as it enters the battlefield. It is almost done in a matter of moments. Sturmpire is trying to lay down mines. A nice attempt by the Rangers and the Sherman. Pretty much has to end them. 6 points left. He's managed to buy himself maybe some more seconds, but the question is, what can Itaperuna truly do with those seconds he bought? I think the answer to that is absolutely bugger all. And there you go. Realizes and gives up. A loss here for the German army. A loss for the 2nd Panzerdivision here. The 1st Armored Division did some absolutely splendid work. Well played, the Ikarus. I would really say just making great use of the American doctrine and abilities. We even saw some combined arms. Even though I'm not entirely sure if this is by intent or not. We saw it. So, I mean, nice there. Good, reasonable use of smoke. And, you know, good use of abilities, good flanking, good maneuvering, overall playing to the American strength here as the Itaperuna. And they were really getting caught up in a bad engagement compared to Itaperuna, while it's saying, you know, had some strength and advantage. He never really quite understood how to use them, flew a lot of manpower at times. He could go on for support. I'm seeing just some more Obersoldaten. And certainly I feel like, you know, he threw away his tanks when he actually was in the lead. He got overconfident, he got greedy, he got dumb. And that rather cost him the match there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. And if you like what we do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. And links are in the video description. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.